Okay, you need a break the card. Okay, how is it with you guys? Leo. Indra ရဲ့ခိုင်မြင့်စုရဲ့ပြောက်ခွတ်တိုင်း Indra ရဲ့ခိုင်မြင့်စုရဲ့ယူရရဲ့နောက်တစ်ယောက်ကျန်သေးရရောင်မျက်စုကတော့မတိုင်သေးဘူး
Che ba tai na.
မတိုင်တာလေ Oh, today we're gonna learn, you're gonna go to unit 10, right? We have finished handling data. Given, we're gonna go to given presentation. Oh, we left one thing. I gave you guys homework. What was it?
53, number 3.
Page number 53,
Yeah,
number
what
3.
book?
Yeah. Page number 53, number 3.
I have already done yesterday. Why do I
yes.
need to say?
Okay. Or it's not much. It's just only see the graph and okay, now we're gonna please turn on page number 77. I would like to explain you a little bit about the questionnaires. The questionnaire down in nation no? You know, like project design, page number 77.
Which page number?
77. Course book.
Okay.
So today is TGIF, right? Today is Friday. Then you have a very well sleep tomorrow. Am I right?
No,
No.
Mm.
Why? Why not?
because I have like Chinese class on campus, like morning time,
What time is it?
8:30 to
Oh.
30 to 10, and then 10 to 1, and 6 to 7, 7:30. Yeah,
How many Chinese classes you are attending now?
just only one, and the others are like English and math.
Oh, I see. So you can only take a rest if we got the holiday. I think sadly in this month, this month is June, right? We have no holiday in June. We have holiday in July, I guess. Hopefully, full moon day of Wazo, right? Full moon day of Wazo
Well, close.
and Mother's Day. 2 days maybe.
I'm not sure about the school will close.
For those big days, I think school will close.
Okay.
Hopefully. I think so. Because this is after your midterm exam, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to page number 77. Making design and write the questionnaire. ချဲ့ဒါလေးက design နဲ့ questionnaire ကိုရေးခိုင်းတာပေါ့နော်။ဒါပေမဲ့တစ်ချက်ဒီနေရာမှာကနည်းနည်းပဲရှင်းဒီ questionnaire ရေးတဲ့ပုံစံကိုရှင်းပြချင်တာ။အင်စာပေးမပြရတော့အခုတစ်ချက်ကြည့်ကြည့်ရမယ်။ There are many tips The first one is before you write the questions for your survey, you have to read the guidelines. So here are the guidelines. The first part is it is easier to collect and record the information from the structured question rather than open-ended question. So we have to do the structured questions. Structured questions. So structured questions mean, it is not supposed to be ask and answer the question. Like the answer are fixed. Okay. For example, if I say, how many plastic bags do you use a day? So the question is already there is an options like I'm gonna write it. For example, how many plastic bags do you use a day? And you can say, okay, so in the question is that the options are already given 2 to 4, or the possible answers. I mean, 4 to 10, or 10 to more, like that. So the answers are fixed. So when you take the survey or when you make the survey question, it is better to be the structured question. Okay, structured question is like that. So you ask them, hi, very good. Hold it, So zero ဒီမှာက10 to more ဟလား 10 or more ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီမှာဒီလိုမျိုးပုံစံမျိုးလေးပေါ့အဲ့တော့ there is a question and then there's already options for the answers. This is called structured questions. Okay, so it is easier to collect and record the data from the structured questions. I think you guys probably learning ICT, right? There is a database. Do you know what is database? Have you ever heard about that, or have you ever learned about database?
No.
Okay. In database, they store the data. Okay, so if we take out from the database, and you can easily how can I say, check the information if your questions are structured. Okay, အဲ့ကျတော့ဒီလို question ရဲ့ structure ဖြစ်မယ်ဆိုတော့ကွာ ဥမာ survey တွေဘာတွေကောက်တော့မယ်ဆိုရင်တစ်ခါလေးဝင်ကြည့်လိုက်တာ ਨੇ ဘယ်နှစ်ယောက်ကတော့ plastic ကိုနှစ်ခုက2အိတ်ကနေ4အိတ်တွင်မှာသုံးပါတယ်ဟလာ4အိတ်ကနေ10အိတ်တွင်မှာသုံးပါဆိုတစ်ခါလေးဘယ်နှစ်ရာခိုင်နှုန်းမှာလူ100မှာဆိုဘယ်နှစ်ရာခိုင်နှုန်းကဘယ်လိုသုံးနေဆိုတာတစ်ခါလေးပေါ်တယ်နော်အဲ့လိုပုံစံပေါ့ကျတော့အဲ့ဒါကြောင့်သူက structure questions ကိုမေးတာ and next one, use question requiring a yes or no answer. So okay, the first one is structured question. The second is you can use yes or no answer. Okay, for example, okay, what would be the yes or no answer? Do you support avoiding plastic bag? Yes or no? Okay, so that's it. And next one is one given a list of options is the most school subjects and other on the end of the list. So given the list of options, okay. When we give the list of options, we can do add other at the end of the question list. Maybe if there is other things. For example, okay, what do you do for a living? So probably a teacher, architect, or maybe a designer, and then maybe in that option, if questions are not included, they can add in other, right? So we have to other. We have to add other at the end of the list of options. Next one, be careful with the overlapping categories. We have to be careful with overlapping. It's just, for example, 11 times spent, yeah, 0 to 59 minutes or 1 hour to 1 hour to 59 minutes. These are very exact and, very complicated. So we should better change to maybe 0 to 1 hour, 1 hour to 2 hours. That is better. Okay. Next, ask only one question at a time. For example, don't ask geography or history. So we just only ask a question at a time. The answer should be for the question. So we shouldn't ask 2 questions at a time. Okay. So if we say, do you like geography and history? So if maybe there will be the people who like geography, there will be the people who like history, but maybe they don't like both of them. At the time, it is difficult to answer, right? That's why you usually use just one question at a time. Okay, next tip is make sure the questions are specific and don't use sometimes, often, etc. So we don't use sometime and often. We usually use a specific question, like this one, okay? And don't ask personal questions. Next one, make sure your questions are objective. In other words, don't show your own opinion in the question. Okay, so do you agree that Max is boring? So boring is your personal feeling, right? We shouldn't add the personal feeling in our survey questions. Next one, never ask people to put their names. Yeah, that is important. Never ask people to put their names on a questionnaire. And if more than one answer is possible, add an instruction such as please select all the options that apply. Okay, these are the tips you have to follow. And next one is you have to write the question for your profile. And you have to find out the information here, 1 through 10. The first one is hours you sleep per night, breakfast, travel to school, favorite school, subjects, time you spend doing homework each day, number of books you have to read in the last month, and time to spend listening to music, hours to spend on a computer, mobile phone usage, testing, call, apps, internet, like that. And sports you have take part in. So you are about to make the question for those things, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys as an example. For example, hours of sleep per night. So you are about to make the question of hours of sleep you sleep per night. How many hours of you have per night? So as usual, that will be question. So what are the possible one? We did that. It is impossible to start from 1, right? Because this is the sleeping hour. We never sleep just for 1 hour every day. So we have to start with the possibility. So maybe 5 to 8 hours. 2 is 8 to maybe 10 hours. And 3 is 10 to 12 hours. No, 12. Okay, like that. So can you do the question for 2 through 10? 2ကနေ 10 ဒီကိုခုနကတော့အချက်ပြောထားတဲ့အချက်တွေပေါ်ကိုrely ဘယ်လိုပြောအချက်တွေကို follow လုပ်ပြီးတော့ဒီ2 to 10ကို question လုပ်ပေးလို့ရလားဒီလိုပုံစံလေးရတယ်မပြောရတယ်တယောက်ကတော့တန်းထွက်လာပြီကျန်တဲ့သူတွေရော
Yeah, buddy.
ရပါတယ်ဟုတ်ပြီဒါဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီချက်ဒါလေးကို homework ပေးလိုက်မယ်နော်အခုလုပ်ရင်ကောင်းမှာ
No, no, no.
Homework,
homework.
homework.
Okay ဒါဆိုအခုမလုပ်သေးဘူးဝုန်းပေးလိုက်မယ်ဒါပေမဲ့နော်ပောက်ကြီးရတယ်ရှောက်မလုပ်လာနဲ့အပေါ်မှာပေးထားတဲ့အချက်တွေကို teacher တို့ follow လုပ်ပြီးတော့မှဒီ question တွေကိုရေးပါနော်ဒီလို yes or no question လုပ်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်း teacher တို့အမ do you have breakfast every day လို့ဟာမျိုးဆို teacher yes or no လို့ထည့်လို့ရတယ်ဒါမှမဟုတ်လဲ sometimes ဆို often လို့အဲ့လို frequency adverb တွေထည့်လိုက်ရတယ်နော်
Options တွေပါပေးရမှာပေါ့နော် option
ဟုတ်တယ် option တွေပေးရမှာ teacher တို့ဘာဖြစ်လဲဆို option ပေးမှဟို survey ကောက်တာအဆင်ပြေတာဟုတ်ဒါ survey question လုပ်တဲ့ပုံစံလေးရတာအဲ့တော့ပြန်ဖတ်ပါပေါ်ကအချက်တွေကိုပြန်ဖတ်ပါဖတ်ပြီးတဲ့ခါကျမှအဲ့ဒါလေး follow လုပ်ပြီးတော့ဒါလေးလိုက်ခဲ့နော် That's your homework and let's go to presentation is on page number 78 okay 78 ka presentation သွားရအောင်အောက်ကပါရလားတာကြီး
Yeah.
If you have question you do not hesitate me to ask okay
Okay.
Let's go to giving presentations. Okay, presentation of the Bonsali. Have you I heard that you have presented about what with teachers, right? So what is it about? What was it about?
About history of the television and cinema, like playing.
Oh, the place for the television and cinema. Okay. So all of you have the same topic or different ones?
Different
Same
ones.
one.
same
Same, but like you can use like the planes or other like
other
movie or television like
Or
that.
same topic but the different category.
yeah
When did you do that one?
Last week.
Saturday.
Last
Last week.
Saturday? Last Saturday?
Last week.
Last week? Oh, it's very close, but it's okay because we can relate, right? With the given presentations. It's on page number 78. Do you like to do the presentations personally?
not really
No. No.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Okay, great. No. Okay, what are the challenging parts of presentation?
Nothing.
Eye contact.
Nothing?
Nothing.
For me, eye contact.
Eye contact, yes. And
you mean challenge
yes, challenging part of preparing or maybe doing presentation.
it's
Yeah, Richard?
it's like how to say when you like prepare it or when you just present like when you try presenting first by yourself before the real presentation it's everything is fine and if you if you present in a real presentation it's like kind of you just nervous and you know
Yes. Yes. How about Naitaura or Miyasu? Because you guys did the presentation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Naitaura, tell me about it.
Actually, personally, I don't want to do presentation, but as a class, it's just like a homework, you know. So I gotta do it.
Yeah, of course.
For personally, if someone asks me to do it or not, so I'm gonna say I'm not going to do it. For real.
All right. Yeah, Miyasu. How about you, Miyasu?
Talking.
Do you like doing presentation?
No, I hate talking.
You hate talking, but okay. Unfortunately, you have a very talkative teacher.
No, I like listening to people. I hate talking.
Oh, you hate talking. Okay. So, like, have you ever done any presentation?
I'm just thinking that whether presentation and project are the same or not because I have done pretty much of projects with other
You know what? I have done making a music with other too.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
share some. I can. Then. Is there
Wait.
any channel?
No, not like that. We
Just
just do it in our
practice.
English class, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we have already done the presentation in other classes with that.
Yes.
It's called the
I see.
vocabulary.
Mm.
It is a kind of like read that it helps us memorize the grammar tenses or any topic of grammar.
Yes, you're right. It has many, how can I say, benefits by doing presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I know, guys, but you have to. I'm gonna divide the topics maybe later on, and you guys have to do the presentation. You know, presentation is not just like useful in the school project or maybe university seminars, because we do many seminars every year. We have to do the project and we have to read the seminars, and at the time presentation skill is very important in order to persuade or have a good mark for what you have done. So presenting is the kind of a skill that you have to fill in. And here in this unit, we're going to learn about giving presentations and don'ts and do and don'ts, and that will, if you follow it, you will be a little bit better at presentation. So I know that some of you guys don't like presenting, but you know, every higher level of office work, or maybe yourself, you have your own business, presentation speaks a lot. The skill of presentation speaks a lot. So if you are tend to be higher one, and unless you don't like to code or something that you just work alone, and you're gonna have to do a presentation, this is a thing that you can't avoid. So, and you know, just like Sulet said already, by doing presentation, we have some of the benefits, such as we have to browse, or as we use Google, and you have to note it, right? So it's kind of a self-study. It improves your self-study skill, and it improves your memorizing skill too, because you know, before a presentation, you have to remember some of the things which are not in the slide, and these will improve your memory and research skill too. So, and so does reading. So many benefits. But I know you guys doesn't like it, but just like Nine Tower said, if it is homework, you have to do, right? Okay, that's later on. And now we're gonna read about the 10 practical PowerPoint tips, and I'm gonna divide the tasks, okay? So you guys read all of it, all of the 10 practical PowerPoint tips, and for as we got 6, 7, okay, as we got 7 students, and I'm gonna divide the text 1 and 2 for Susan.
Okay.
You read this one carefully and gonna explain me in English. 3 for Rachel, and 4 and 5 for Sulet, Emerald, and next one is Cao Ke Bai, right? Cao Ke Bai, 6. 6 got the 6, 7 for Swan Adaso. Swan, it's yours. 8.
လွန်ခဲ့တဲ့3မိနစ်လောက်လွန်ခဲ့တဲ့5မိနစ်လောက်ရောက်တဲ့ချက် page number ဘယ်လောက်လဲ
page number 78.
ဟုတ်ပါ
ညစုရယ်ဘယ်လိုလဲကျန်တာနိုင်ထာဝရရယ်ပဲကျန်တော့နော်ဟုတ်တယ်နော်ညစု you take 8 and နိုင်ထာဝရ you take 9 and 10
what about
အေးကောင်းမှပဲပါလားလို့ပြောတယ်ပြီးရလားမပြီးသေးဘူးလားမပေးရသေးဘူးနော်အဲ့ခဏနေအောင်6နဲ့
တောက်မေးရတစ်ချက်ပါလဲ page number ဘယ်လောက်လဲ ဟော page number 78တည်ဒါပေမဲ့ဘာလို့ရမှာလဲကြာခု
10
PowerPoint
practical
tips.
PowerPoints. Read the 10 practical PowerPoints.
大ပါလဲဆရာမကြားဘူး
ဒီအားကြောင့်ဒီချက်စဉ်းစားတာတောက်ဒီချက်ပေးလိုက်တယ်လို့လည်းမပေးလိုက်ဘူးလားမမဆောင်းဖြစ်သွားတာ sorry ခဏလေးအဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ချက်ခုနရှေ့ရသူတွေကတော့ပြီးသွားနော်6နဲ့တာက6ကြောက်လည်းရမ်းတူလို့နေဒါပေမဲ့ရှင်းပြဖို့လို့ထားအဲ့6ကနည်းနည်းတော့ခတ်တယ်6ကနည်းနည်းပြန်ရှင်းပြဖို့လို့ထားနော်6အဲ့တော့ဟိုအစွမ်းကကြတော့7ယူလိုက်ပြီးသွားရင်8ကမျက်စု9 and 10ထိုင်နိုင်ထားပါနော်6ကဒါဒီဟာတကြောင်းလဲဆိုရင်ဒါ for example example လေးနဲ့ရှင်းပြပြီနော်ဒီဟာတစ်ခုလည်းမရှင်းနဲ့ဘယ်လိုမျိုး deliver လုပ်ရမှာလဲဆိုတော့ရှင်းပြနော်โอเคတက်နိုင်တယ်လားပေါ့
ချက်တရားဘာလို့မလဲ
You read the whole 10 practical PowerPoint tips and then explain me about number 6 in English. You get it?
Okay.
You're gonna
Yeah.
come up with the examples if you can. I hate homework. I hate it too. ဒီခုတော့ homework အများကြီးမပေးပါဘူးဟုတ်တယ်မလား ချက်ပွိုင်းမရောက်သေးတော့မင်းတို့ခဏနားပေးထား
မများဘူးချက်
ဟုတ်လားကျ Rose များနေလား
Heroes လည်း
ဟိုချက်တော့မပြောနဲ့ဟုတ်ပါဘူးဒီနေ့
ပြောပါဦးမလေးပြောပါဦးကွယ်ကျ Rose ကသမီးတို့စားလို့စီစဉ်လို့ပေးရနေမှာပေါ့အဲ့ကြောင့်ဒီချက် short ပေးထားနော်
Yeah.
လက်ကြီးလေဟိုဒီချက်အဲ့လိုမျိုးအများကြီးပေးရအများကြီးဟိုဒီချက်တည်းကပေးထားလို့ဒီချက်နည်းနည်းပြန် short ပေးထားတို့တွေက complain တက်လို့ homework မပေးလို့ဆိုပြီးတော့
အဲ့လိုရှိသေးရလား
ရှိရဲ complain တက်လို့ complain တက်တဲ့အချိန်မှာ homework ပေးနေပြီလားဒီချက် homework စစ်စားတွေကပေးတာလေ
ဒီထူးထူးဆန်းဆန်း
အရှားပါဆုံးပဲ
ရှားပါဆုံးဟို rare ဟိုက်ပါဖြစ်တယ်
ဟိုက်ပါဖြစ်လို့ homework နည်းလို့ဆိုလားမသိဘူးဟုတ်တယ် homework ဒီချက်ပေးရလေ homework နည်းလို့လားမသိဘူး
ကြာနောက်ပြီးပြောနေရနေမှာ
မဟုတ်ဘူးတကယ်ပြောတာဆရာကောင်းစီရောက်သွားတယ်
ချက်တော့မ play လေ complain
ပြကောင်းပြီအောင်
ဟုတ်တယ်
ဟိုဟိုက်ပါကြည့်
ဟိုက်ပါ
တော့တောင်းလို့အစားဆုံးနေပြန်လို့ပြော
ဒီတော့ကလည်းနော်ဒီတော့ကလည်းမီးလေးလာလဲဒီတော့ကကင်မရာ webcam နေရာမဖွင့်တော့ဒီတော့ရမ်းချေမိုးတယ်နော်မီးလာရင်လည်းပတ်ဖွင့်ပါအောင်မျက်နှာလေးမြင်ကြ
မ
ည့်
လား
ဟုတ်လားပြောတာပဲအားတဲ့ချိန်ကျတော့မသိရ
လာရရှင်ကမ
ဘာ
သိ
ကြောင့်တူလေးနေဒီကမ်းမှာဆိုအဖွဲ့ခွဲထားမီးလာတယ်12နာရီသူတို့ကနှင်းနှင်းကဘက်တစ်ချိန်ပါတယ်ဟုတ်တယ်12နာရီရဲ့အရှိပိုင်းလားတနာရီဆိုပြတ်တာပေါ့တနာရီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်12နာရီနဲ့တနာရီထိကတစ်ဖွဲ့အဲ့ဒါမင်းတို့ကတနာရီထိမီးလာရဲ့ဖွဲ့ကင်မရာဖွင့်ခိုင်းတာပြီးတော့တနာရီနောက်ပိုင်းမှာမီးလာရဲ့ဖွဲ့ကတစ်ခေါက်ပြန်ဖွင့်အဲ့လိုမျိုးလှည့်ပြီးတော့ဖွင့်ခိုင်းအဲ့ဆိုတစ်ခါကျရင်
ခဏလေး
ကို
ကို
လုံးနေလားမလုံးနေလားမသိဘူး
ရှူတော့ပေါက်လို့ရလားဒီကတစ်ချက်လောက်မီးရဆိုမရှိပါဆိုလို့
တောင်းရင်လည်းအတောင်းရအောင်
ဆရာဟင်းတက်ပြောရတဲ့အတိုင်းပြင်
ကြာရင်လည်းပါလေပြော
toilet သွားမယ်မပြောဘဲနဲ့တဲ့ပြောလို့တချို့
ဟုတ်တယ်ဒီချက်လည်းပြင်ပြောမလို့လား
အိမ်တော်တက်မယ်ဆိုရှိပါခြင်းလို့
အဲ့ဆရာချင်းရည်နေရမလားဒါရောတကူ
အဲ့
တော့
ဆရာပုံကြီးရ
ဟုတ်တယ်ဒီထက်ချိန်ကြတော့ခြေရလိုက်ငိုရလိုက်ပဲလားငိုကြီးပေါ့
ချက်အချိန်ကကောင်းတယ်
ကောင်းတယ်ဒီချက်ချောတာကိုကောင်းတာ
ဒီအပြင်မှာပူချောတယ်
ဒီမှာပူချောရလားဒီမှာဆောင်ဝဲနေလားဆောင်လာကြည့်ပါပဲ
သမီးနေမှာတော့ဒီချက်ကချစ်ဖို့ကောင်းတာ
ဟုတ်လားသမီးနဲ့ဒီချက်ကပြင်မှာမတွေ့ရသေးဘူးလေနော်
ဟုတ်တယ်မတွေ့ရသေး
ရတေးတေးလေး
တဲ့တိတ်နေကျန်လူကမသေးပါဘူးဟွာပါလေအရက်ပူတာသမီးတို့ကရက်ရှိရတယ်သမီးတို့ခင်နေရုပ်ခဲ့ကွာချဲတို့ခင်မှာတော့ချဲတို့ကအရက်အလောက်ပူတဲ့ထဲမှာမပါဘူးသမီးတို့နဲ့ရှင်လိုက်တော့သမီးတို့ခက်ကကြတော့သမီးတို့ရဲ့ level တွေကကြတော့ရက်မြင့်ကြတာနော်ယူရဆိုလေအမြင့်ကြီးပဲတချဲယူရအောင်အဲ့လောက်မြင့်မချင်းဘူးအမလီခိုတယောက်လေ
သူရနဲ့
အိမ်ဒရာ
အိမ်ရွာ
ဒီ
အိမ်
dry
ဒရာမြင့်ကြီးပဲမြင့်ကြီးပဲသူကမဲသူ trip တွေပါသွားပြီးချေးနေရသည်လား
ညောင်တော့
ဟုတ်လားညောင်လုံးမသွားလား
သူအကိုမွေးနေဆိုရ
ဟုတ်တယ်သူ့ကိုမွေးနေရဲ့အချက်
သူကိုမွေးနေ
မနေ့ရောပြော
နော်သူ့ကိုမင်းနေလို့သွား
မ
တာ
တော့ဘူး
တနေ့လုံးနေမသွားပဲနဲ့အေးဘောလေးဒီကြောက်ပြရင်ပြောတာအဲ့သူပြော
မိလာပြီချက်ခဏဝိုင်းဖိုင်သွားချိန်လောက်
ချိန်ကျင်းပြီကင်မရာမှာဖွင့်လိုက်သူ့ wifi နေတက်တာမြင်ရတယ်ဒီချက်တော့ wifi ဆိုကြားကြီးပဲအဲ့တော့ဒီချက်ကြောင့်ဘာဖာလို့ဟာလေးခံထားလိုက်တော့သူမီးပြလာတော့သူဆက်သွား Okay. You guys ready to explain me? 1 and 2 Susan. Okay, let's get started.
Okay, so the first one is that to be like, when you're doing the presentation, it should be better with the photos and explaining each of the introduce each of the parts that you are showing in the graph or photo. Like starting with the slide with the presentation, it should be have the same amount with the type of you wrote in the presentation. Yeah, and the photo depends on the each subjects. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. 3.
Rachel. Okay, so this is like one of the most important tips. So you better not put lots of tasks on a slide and not too much information, because it can make it won't if you add so many tasks on your slide, and you won't be able to draw the audience attention, and as well as you won't be able to to make the audience focus on what is important. So you better not add lots of tasks on a slide, and you shouldn't use more than 8 lines of a task, or don't have more than 8 to 10 words per line. And you better use only 4 lines each, or in a slide, on a slide or something. And also you better not use too many slides, and don't put too many informations, because it can be boring, and also
Okay, great. And
So
4 and 5.
yeah, that's mine.
Yes.
Okay, so paragraph 4 means that we better use the high contrast, nice color combination in order to carry the audience attention, especially. And also, if it is too bright or too pale, it's not kind of seems to be accelerating. And for the paragraph 5 is if we use over too many transitions and animation, it will be a mess in only one slide.
Yes.
But if you're doing the same thing any repeatedly times, 1,000 repeatedly times, it will be also boring. So different animation per slide is more better.
Okay, thank you. And next one, 6. You come up with that exam or no? Okay. It's your turn. Your Wi-Fi is all right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about 6. Tell me about 6. Can you explain me about 6, please?
Yes. Wait. Oh, but I'm doing example, so can you skip me?
Okay. So 7 is Swan. Swan other so it's your turn.
7.
Yes. I'm a little late. Tell me that's so go. Mentally right down.
So, for example, when you're on a PowerPoint and you're at the end of your presentation, you have to make sure there's like a blank page at the end, so people's attention always draw to you. It's like psychology, somewhat. So, like I made a PowerPoint on, for example, on history, for example, and then at the end of the PowerPoint, I would make it like a blank space. And then the audience who would have nothing to look at would usually look up the presenter because they were gonna be expecting like the presenter to say something as like a ending speech, you know. Then
Okay, that's all. Thank you very much. And how about 8? Yes, Sue, it's your turn.
Yeah. The most important thing is that the visual presentation. The main point of the visual presentation is supporting your speech by the images, pictures, and by text, and it makes your information easier to understand for your audience. It gives the audience more interest, and it helps them focus on your speech.
Okay, thank you very much. And 9 and 10 is Naitaura.
Make sure you rehearse your presentation before you give it. Run through the slide. So it's me when you do presentation. Before making presentation on everyone, in front of everyone, making it public, you need to rehearse it. Because when you don't rehearse and doing it on public, you might get wrong, and you gotta check spelling, punctuation, and grammar.
Okay. Okay, let's get back to 6.
I think the presentation should be written to make the reader to understand.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
clearly.
6ly, make sure that
Write
you can
clearly.
deliver your presentation without using software.
Yes, I'm talking about it.
Are you talking about that one?
Yes, I thought that like that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Then I'm gonna recap a little bit about the tips. Okay, so these are the tips you have to follow, and maybe later on you guys will have not today or not this week. This week မဟုတ်လို့ရှိရင်เนาะကျွန်တော်က next week မှာဘာရှိလဲပြန်နှွေးတော့မှာပေါ့ရပါတယ်ဒါပြီးမှပြန်ဆက်တင်တာပေါ့ဟိုဟာပြီးတော့တစ်ခုပြောအောင်မယ်မင်းတို့လေ exam ကလေဟိုဟာဒီတချို့ B က B2 ရှိရော B2 ရှိရဆိုတော့တချို့ကစာနည်းနည်းမြန်ရှေ့ရောက်သွားတာသူတို့ B2 မှာကြတော့ခုမှချက် point sorry global 9စတာဆိုတော့တချို့ပါမယ့်ဥစ္စာကချက် point 8နဲ့ global 8ကပဲအများဆုံးဖြစ်လိမ့်မယ်
Yes.
global 9မှာအစပိုင်းကတစ်ခန်းလောက်ပဲကြည့်ရမယ်နော် grammar ကိုပြောတာတစ်ခန်းလောက်ပဲကြည့်ရမယ်နော်ပြောပါအဲ့တော့ I'm going to review a little bit about the writing style and writing style and some of the usage of English with you guys together. Then we will have 4 days or 5 days before the exam. So it is enough for you guys, okay? And there will be a listening section, but I'm not sure what kind of listening would it be. or how many times will it play? I'm not sure yet because I have to discuss more with another teacher, and then I will get back to you at the time after we have discussed. Okay. So let's go to the 10 tips about PowerPoint that you have to follow before you do the presentation. PowerPoints are very important, right? By the time when I was just like second year or first year student, there was even the PowerPoint training club for the adults people. But you guys are very, very familiar with the modernized technologies. You guys don't need to use PowerPoint PowerPoint slideshow. To use PowerPoint slideshow, you don't need to attend anything right from anywhere. You just only click it, and then you know this easily. You can learn it by yourself. So PowerPoint, in order to make PowerPoint, we have many options, okay? And for Windows computer, and we use PowerPoint. We use PowerPoint for offline software, and for both iPad or maybe for both Mac and both Windows and Mac computers, you can use online. If you have a Google account, you can use Google Slide, okay, which is also similar to, but a little bit complicated if we compare, but it is also similar to PowerPoint slide from Windows Microsoft. So these are the things that, you know, according to number six, the sixth tip, we have to make sure you can deliver the presentation without using the software. Because technology can have the errors. So you make the handout or something in order to visualize what you are talking about. So you have to prepare for this one. So even if there is a technical problems in the presentation hall, and it's gonna be all right by seeing, the audience can know easily by seeing what you by seeing your handout. They can easily visualize what you are talking about. So this is important. This is the thing in real life. We got lots of presentations, and you know, whether it is in the office or the university, you know, even in university, you guys have to present about what you have done. So let's learn about this. Number one, illustrate what you are saying, showing photos, photographs and diagrams. So it is, you know, illustrating. Just by saying words like 20% in a year, 30% in a year, the audience cannot know or cannot remember all the things. But if you draw a picture or if you draw a graph, it is better. And you know, people learn 70% of the 70% from the pictures. So they suddenly memorize what you are talking. So you have to illustrate it. Maybe if you are doing some of the surveys, you have to illustrate it, or you can put the photos and diagrams. Number two, start with a slide that has a little title, that has a title of your presentation. So first slide is the title. So in the title, you should better use an appropriate picture related to the title. Okay, so for example, you are talking about chemistry, but you are just having a picture of you, so there is nothing related, right? So you have to put the appropriate picture for according to the title or topic. 3, you can put on the slide, but don't use too much. You can put the test on the slide. So of course you have to put the test. Test mean in Burmese, you can text on the you can put the text, but do not use too much. Okay, you got lots of the paragraphs in your presentation slide. It's not okay. You want your audience to focus on what is important, so don't use more than 8 lines. Okay, don't use more than 8 lines. And don't have more than 8 or 10 words per line. Okay, so per line, you don't use more than 8 to 10. Okay, just 8 to 10 is enough. Sometimes you may add some of the tips which are more than 8 or 10 words. It is okay for some slide, but if you use too much words, too much text in your all of your slide, this is boring. Don't use too many slides and don't put too much information on your chart or graphs. Okay, so your graphs need to be clear and simple. 4, choose high contrast color scheme for your slides. Decide on font that is clear. So when you use the high color contrast, because if it is the color is gray and very dull or very faint, it is not okay for the audience to catch up on. That's why you have to use the high contrast color, but not so much colorful. Okay, your slide shouldn't be like, okay, this line is a green color, next line is the yellow color, next line is the dark green color. Not like that. Okay, so you use the one color in a slide that is better for you. In fact, in university, I don't know about the other university. According to my university, we have only we are allowed just to write in color for the highlight words, but except we have only used what is it, black color. Okay, so this is about the color of the text. Next, choose one type of transition. Okay, and one kind of animation, but don't overdo it. Do you know what is transition? You guys
I guess
have
so.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is transition?
Changing something from
Yes,
something.
changes the slide, right? Fine. If we transform it from the first slide to the next, and there are the way, in what way you will show the next slide when it is come up, in what style will it come up? So you don't use this time a flying, next time flying by the window or like that. This is very how can I say, complicating, confusing to see. So you use only one type of transition for every slide and one kind of animation. Animation is for the words and transition is for the slides. Okay, for the words, maybe if you would like to omit something, and you can do the animation. So if you click for the first time, it wasn't show off. So if you click next time, it will show up like that, but do not use animation a lot. Next, make sure, it's already explained, make sure that you deliver your presentation without using software. So that is very important one. You have to prepare it. 7, when there's nothing that you want to illustrate, use the blank slide. Okay, if your explanation doesn't need the illustration, you use the blank slide. You don't add some inappropriate picture or maybe cartoon. You shouldn't do that. So that the audience look at you, not at the slide from the previous point, because you're just saying the point, right, by your mouth. So they will just look at you. And you can also use the blank slide at the end of your presentation in order to let you know the audience that you have done your presentation like that. Now, 8, the most important thing is that the visual presentation is there to support your speech, not the other way around. You want your audience to concentrate on what you are saying. So, show visual the presentation. So visual presentation is similar, related to the point 1. It is adding the photographs and diagram. Or plus, if there is no photo or diagrams, you have to explain by using the examples or the story. Okay, that makes the audience to visualize your presentation. 9, make sure you rehearse your presentation, very important. Because the key of Umyamao is to rehearse, right? So, ဦးမြင့်မောင်ရဲ့အဓိကအချက်ကဘာဖြစ်တာလဲ rehearse လုပ်ဖို့လိုတာเนาะကိုယ့်ရဲ့ presentation အောင်မြင်ပြီးသွားဖို့အတွက်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကျတို့ rehearse လုပ်ဖို့လိုတယ် you have to rehearse it before you give it and you have to learn the slide, what slide is next or like that. When you do so, you will have more confidence when you are talking. Check your spelling, punctuation, and grammar. These are important because if your spelling is incorrect in the slides, and people will know easily because these are your slide is shown in the bigger words and very obvious, right? And punctuation too, because in order to not to down the impression, you have to check those spelling, punctuation, grammar. So that's in your how can I say, work resume, I mean CV, it is, you know, important to check the spelling, punctuation, and grammar. So these are the things you have to follow. Discuss the question, what is the reason for each piece of advice in essay 1? Other suggestion. Is there other idea you would like to add apart from 10 points? No at all. We are already sleepy. Right, like that, right?
No.
No, have you know what we know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Can I leave early today?
Why not? Why?
Because I have to go out.
You are not well?
I have to go out somewhere.
Oh, you have to go out somewhere. Okay, then check the recording.
Yes, not now.
Okay, it's fine if you want to if you are about to leave, and just leave me a note. Use of English prepositional and phrasal verbs. Some verbs like put can be used by a number of prepositions. Okay, you guys read it. Use of English by yourself. Phrasal verb တွေကြောင့်နော် Thuzar, have you finished your lunch? Not yet? Yes?
I eat like French. I already
Yeah.
eat French.
Oh. What is it about?
Combining with the phrasal verb and in preposition.
Yes. Combining the preposition with above, yes, and make it phrasal verb. Just like put on. Put on. Put is above itself, and on is a preposition. So if we combine those two words, and it become another meaning. And put up here, put down, put in. Next one is put on. Oh, this is sorry. Rely on, depends on. And then there is another thing that is about the position of the object. Okay, when you use the object, you have to, when you use the phrasal verb, and then you have to take care of the place of the object that you have to put. So there are two places. The first one is between the phrasal verbs, like put, blah, 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 on. So here is object. Okay. ဒီမှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင် put on ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီအလဲမှာ object ထည့်ပြီးတော့ပြောလို့ရတယ်ဟုတ်လားဒါမှမဟုတ်လို့ရှိရင်လည်းတချို့တန်းပြီးတော့ပြောရတဲ့ဟာတွေပေါ့နော် rely on ပြီးတော့မှဘာလာလဲ object လာတယ်အဲ့တော့တချို့ကဒီမှာတော့သူမပြောထားအောင်နော်ဒါတချို့ဖတ်ကြည့်လိုက်အောင်မပြောထားဘူးတော့ Perhaps like you can follow a number of position principal article before the object. ဒါဒီတိုင်းပဲပြောထားတာအဲ့တော့ဒီချက်ဒီမှာတစ်ခုပြောဆရာရှိတာကတချို့စကားလုံးတွေကတော့တချို့ phrasal verb တွေကတော့တချို့ခွဲလို့မရဘူးเนาะသူတို့ကဆွဲရရလေးလိုပဲဟလားခွဲလို့မရဘူးအဲ့တော့ခွဲလို့မရတာ rely on လို့ပါဆိုခွဲလို့မရဘူးဒါပေမဲ့ object ကိုတချို့ကနှစ်မျိုးရေးတာကို object ကပထမတစ်မျိုးကကြတော့တချို့ခုနလိုမျိုး a poster တို့ your pants တို့လိုမျိုး noun အနေနဲ့ရေးတယ်လို့မျိုးပဲ propose ကျတော့ pronoun နဲ့လည်းရေးတယ်ဟလား object pronoun နဲ့လည်းရေးတယ် object pronoun နဲ့ရေးတဲ့အခါကျရင်တချို့ဥစ္စာတွေကကျတော့ object pronoun နဲ့ရေးတိုင်းမှာ object ကအလယ်မှာပဲရှိတယ်ဥပမာဆိုရင် put it on ဝေးလိုက်ပေါ့ဟုတ်လားဒါမဲ့ကျတော့ put on နဲ့လို့မရေးဘူးဟုတ်ပြီနော် put on နဲ့လို့မရေးဘူးဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲသိလားဒီလိုမျိုး pronoun နဲ့ဒီကျတော့ pronoun object pronoun သုံးလိုက်တဲ့အချိန်ကျရင် put on in နဲ့ put it on ကအရန်กว่าပါတယ်ဥပမာ put it on ဆိုတဲ့အဓိပ္ပာယ်ကကျတော့ put on ကို phrasal verb အနေနဲ့သုံးထားတာဒီမှာအောက်မှာရေးထားတဲ့ put on it ကကြတော့ဒီလိုဘာအနေနဲ့သုံးထားလဲဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အဓိပ္ပာယ်ကြည့်လိုက်လို့ရှိရင် put on it ဆိုတာလေဒီပေါ်မှာတင်လိုက်ပေါ့အဲ့ဒါအဲ့လိုပြောရတယ်ဟုတ်လား put it on ဆိုရင်ဝတ်လိုက်လို့ပြောရတယ်ဒါကြောင့်ခြေတို့ဟာတခုသတိထားမှာ object ကတကယ်လို့များ pronoun ဖြစ်နေခဲ့တယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒီနှစ်ခုရဲ့အလယ်မှာပဲထည့်ပြီးဟုတ်ပြီနော်ဒီတစ်ခုသတိထားဒါပေမဲ့ဒါ rely on လို့ပါတော့ change ချက်ပေါ့နော်သူကအထဲမှာသူကအလယ်မှာခွဲပြီးတော့မထည့်သူ့ကိုကြတော့ခွဲလို့မရသူက serial လေးလိုပဲပူနေဟုတ်တယ်နော်အဲ့လိုပုံစံလေးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့အဲ့တိုင်းပဲရေးပြရပါ Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Sorry, I got naale like this. How do I know that? No. Once I got a story because that's my own story. Okay. I want to. In fact, I was in the examination hall, and I just remembered about one thing. I think it was about the digital database or something like that. And teacher explained me about with the how can I say with the examos. That her examo is about frying the watercress, frying watercress. No, she said that about before frying the watercress, should we have to raise the watercress or should we have to build the fire first? She asked me, and all I remember is when I see about that question, all I remember is about the story. It's not about the war, I just only remember about the watercress. Oh my God. I just only remember the watercress. I don't remember about what she is saying in reality. So like that, I'm explaining you about the that couple leaf, right? And then you just remember about it and you don't remember at all about the phrase above. That is bad. Okay, 3. Choose the prompts to complete the sentences. Remember to use the appropriate from the above. Concentrate, not decide, depend, focus, and rely. We use with on. Okay, ကျွန်တော် concentrate ကိုလည်း on နဲ့တွဲတယ် design ဆိုလည်း on နဲ့တွဲတယ် depend လည်း on နဲ့တွဲတယ်
focus ဆိုရင် rely ရော
reliable ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်း on နဲ့တွဲတယ်ပြောရလည်းမသိဘူးခလုတ်ကပြောပါလေပြောပါလေကျွန်တော် focus ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်း on နဲ့တွဲတယ် rely ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်း on နဲ့တွဲတယ်နော် Okay, then what is remember? Choose the prompt to complete the sentences. Remember to use the appropriate form of the above. Okay. Appropriate form ကိုသုံးရမယ်ဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်ကအရှိရ verb ကိုကြည့်ပြီးတော့ကိုယ့်အကိုခံမှန်းပြီးတော့သုံးနော် 1 to 5. I'm gonna do 1. We are thinking of having a barbecue, but it
depends on
depends on the weather. Oh, ရာသီဥတုမကောင်းရင်တော့ barbecue လုပ်လို့မရဘူးလေနော်
Really?
ဟုတ်တယ်လေ barbecue ကအပြင်မှာกินရတာအိမ်ထဲမှာกินလို့မရဘူးဆိုတော့သူရာသီဥတုမကောင်းလို့ရှိရင်ကြတော့ barbecue လုပ်လို့မရဘူးမိုးရွာအိမ်မှာกินနေလို့မှမရတာတချို့ညတော့ပြန်အိမ်ထဲမှာလည်းกินလို့ရပါတယ်အိမ်ထဲမှာกินတော့ညှော်နှက်နေဝင်မှာပေါ့ barbecue ကကြတော့သူကဟိုလေဟိုဟာရှိရလေစောက်တဲ့ဟာအငွေစောက်တဲ့ဒီလိုကြောင်ရပါရှိအဲ့ဒါက gas ဟိုတွေဟွာတွေလောက်ပဲဟင်းနေလောက်ပဲရလေတားရဲ့တော့အများကြီးกินနေဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကြတော့မရဘူးလေအဲ့တော့သူတို့ဒီမှာကြတော့ဘိုးတွေစီမှာပေါ့နော်ဒီချဲတို့စီမှာတော့မရရအောင်လုပ်ရင်လုံးမှာပေါ့ဒီချဲတို့ဆိုလုပ်တာပဲလားသူတို့ကတော့ဗာလဲဆိုတော့ရာသီဥတုပေါ်မူတည်ပြီးတော့မှမိုးရွာရင်တော့မกินဘူးပေါ့ကွာမိုးမရွာกินတယ်ပေါ့ချဲတို့ဆိုတော့ဘယ်လိုပဲဖြစ်စားမှာပဲဟဲ့လားအဲ့တော့2 to 4 5 is yours အဲ့တော့2 to 5ကိုလုပ်မယ်ဟုတ်တယ်ကြရရင်မထည့်နော်တေချာကြည့်ပြီးမှလုပ် Finished? You are la.
Yes.
ဒါဆိုနောက်မှာတော့ပါရတွေတော့အများကြီးပဲပေါ့နော်ဒါပေမဲ့ကျတို့ဒီမှာက phrase above ဒီပဲပြောရမယ်နော် Can you turn the music down please I can't
Focus on.
focus on maybe studying လို့ပါလာအောင်နော် FOCUS
My homework.
အဲ့မှာကျတို့က focus ကမှန်ဗါလဲ
The focus and concentrate ဘယ်လို
concentrate နဲ့နှစ်ခုရှိနေတယ်နော်အဲ့တော့ကျတော့ I can't focus on ဆိုလို့ရှိရင် studying လို့ဘာလို့သုံးလို့ရတယ်ဒီမှာ concentrate လည်းသုံးလို့ရတယ်ဒီထဲမှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်
My homework.
ခဏလေးနော်ကျတို့ဒီဟာကိုဒီလိုလေးခဏလောက်ထားလိုက်မယ် concentrate လည်းဖြစ်နိုင်တယ် CNTRAT concentrate တော့ I was really interested in TV documentary it
It's focus on
Focus on.
life things.
focus on ဟုတ်ပြီအဲဆိုရှင်ကျတို့ကဒီမှာကျတော့အမှန်တကယ်ဒီအပေါ်မှာကလေ focus on က concentrate on ရတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့3မှာဆိုရင်တော့ကျတို့ကဘာမရဘူးလဲဆိုတော့ concentrate မရဘူးဟုတ်လားဘာဖြစ်လဲဆိုတော့ documentary ကအကြောင်းအရာမှာ it focus on wildlife ပေါ့ဆို wildlife တွေနဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့အကြောင်းမဟုတ်လားအဲ့လိုပြောထားတာဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ဒီကျတို့ဒီနေရာမှာတော့ concentrate သုံးလို့မရဘူးအဲ့တော့တစ်ခုစီပဲထည့်ရမယ်ဆိုဒီပေါ်က focus မလုပ်တော့ဘူးပေါ့နော်ဒါပေမဲ့တကယ်တော့သူ့ရေးမယ်ဆိုမှန်တယ်အတိတ်ကအတူတူပဲဒီအပေါ်ကအကြောင်းအရာမှာဆိုရင်အောက်မှာဆိုရင်တော့မတူတော့ဘူး I want to repaint my room but I
Haven't decided
yes
decided.
haven't decided
on the color yet.
Color
okay
yet.
color ပေါ့ okay ကောင်းကောင်း okay round 3ရ
ဘာမှမနော်နောက်မှ recording ပြန်ပြရတော့
okay ဒါ The bus is cheaper than the train but you can't
Rely on
Rely on.
Us being on time.
okay align on it for being on time ဟုတ်တယ်အဲ့လိုရေးလို့ရတယ်တနိုင်လည်းရေးလို့ရပါနော်ဒီတက်စီကိုကြည့်ဟုတ်လားဒီမှာက focus က es ပါအဲ့ဆို is လို့ပြောထားနော် oh no focus က ed ဖြစ်မှာဒီမှာ focus တော့ test လေးပြန်ကြည့်နော်ကဲရပြီနော် and speaking working but what is wrong with these presentation slides can you guys see the slides in your book can you check that one
Yeah, we can
course
see.
not.
book မှာမြင်ရလား
It's all
Our school trip look destination and travel activity here. Impression.
all black.
Right, the course book. Local course book ပါဒီမှာ let's see မြင်ရတယ်နော်ဒီထဲမှာမြင်ရတယ်ဟုတ်ပြီ
Look at that. Yeah.
ဒါကြီးမမြင်အောင် so you have to what you have to do is I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to discuss you have to work in pair what is wrong with each presentation slides 1 2 3 okay so you guys have to find out the answer for what is wrong with this but you just see it this is doing intentionally these slides are doing intentionally this is not because the book is error this is doing intentionally you just think about it I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes and discuss with your friend breakout room call we can do breakout rooms today. Che host မရသေးဘူး
ဖတ်လို့မရအောင်အဲ့ကျမှရှိရဟောင်း
တဲမှာအေးဟုတ်တယ်ဒီဥစ္စာရဲ့အကြောင်းလေးချေလို့တခုတယောက်ကိုတစ်မျိုးပဲပြောမယ်တစ်ချက်ပဲပြောမယ်နော်
Okay လား
တယောက်တစ်ချက်ပဲပြောမယ်နော် tips တွေကိုကြည့်ပြီးတော့လေ okay number 1 slide see the number 1 slide what is wrong with number 1 slide start with Susan then just only say one thing what is wrong with the first slide
Because like only wrote the short letters, no picture.
short letters no picture thank you Duan what do you see
ဘယ်သူမရလဲဒီချက်ကိုတောက်မရလား
how did I
နံပါတ်ဒုတိယဟာလားပထမဆုံးဟာလား slide က
first slide what's wrong with the first slide just only say one thing
okay I can't really find an appropriate picture for like the first slide
okay Rachel first one
Okay. So the
color Emery sorry okay good
I don't really find another one.
okay and tell me number 2
Well, there is no title,
yeah there is no title
and it should be written in the notes, I guess.
okay Yasu what is wrong with number 2
It's really simple, and they could put a lot more. Like they can put pictures.
yes of course yes Susan what is wrong with the third picture
There's too many pictures.
yeah there are too many pictures Swan what do you see anything else
there isn't any context behind these pictures
yes great and anyone else any comment about that picture no more okay so let's see the first slide we cannot see clearly right the font color has a problem and the font color and the background color it has a problem in fact the background color should be more pale than before or maybe it should be white or some color that makes the and then plus as you guys are right that we should put appropriate picture here because this is but you know this is destination travel activities and impressions these are the outlines of the slide so it is okay if it is too short it is okay number 2 there is no title you're right there is no title and then the font is very unclear and no picture yes you guys are right number 3 is so cramped and they're just a similar picture right so I think we just express or we just put 1 or 2 is enough for that slide okay then listening yeah about it getting your message across what might your teacher or head teacher say at the end of the speech okay so you guys read this one ahead and I'm gonna find for the audio sustain oh Saba down by so Saba what's wrong with it properly Saba okay audio ဖွင့်မဲ့စာပါ down နေတယ်အဲ့ဒါပြီးမှပဲဒါကိုဒီကြောင်းလို့နော်
Use of English.
Yes, use of English reported speech. Reported speech ကကျွမ်းတဲ့ဟာပေါ့ဒီချက်အရင်တစ်ခေါက်က global 8မှာတော့ကလည်းလုပ်ပေးပြီးသားပေါ့
Yes,
နော်ဒီမှာချင်တော့နည်းနည်းလေးကွာပါမယ်ဘာလေးကွာပါလဲဆို statements တွေအကြောင်းဆိုတိတ်တော့မကွာ statement ကဒါ basic ကြဆို reported speech ပဲနော် Remember that when we tell the people that someone said, we usually change the tense because that's what they said was in the past. I'm going to, for example, I'm going to make a long speech. ခဏနေအောင်ဒီချက် adverb တင်ပြရအောင်ဟိုတလောတင်တာမလား
ဟုတ်တင်ပါ
ရောတော့မယ် adverb နဲ့ direct indirect နဲ့ရောတော့မယ်အဲ့တော့ adverb ရယ် reported speech ဆိုတာ direct indirect ပေါ့နော်သူတို့နှစ်ခုက away နော် away အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်ဒီ direct indirect ကပဲနေရာမှာသုံးတဲ့အရင်ပြောအောင် use of English ကိုပြီးခဲ့
တရားကိုပြန်ပြောတဲ့အခါကျရင်တော့
ဟုတ်တယ်
အဆင့်က
ပြန်ပြောတဲ့ okay တဆင့်ခံပြန်ပြောတဲ့အခါမျိုးမှာသုံးတယ်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်မှာ there will be first person and the second person talk about the first person to the third person at the time we use reported speech usually we use reported speech for the in reporting such as especially used by reporter it's used by reporter usually so we and also maybe for example the conversation can be between you and your friends for example I'm teaching and I'm talking to you guys but maybe one of your friends absent the class and by the time you would like to deliver the message of mine you have to use reported speech at the time. Let's see. Remember that when we tell people what someone said, we usually change the tense because what they said was in the past. Such as this one. I'm not going to make a long speech. So this is the thing somebody said. So we say that she said that she wasn't going to. Here, present continuous tense to past continuous tense. And also change the pronouns because I am saying myself, so I will use pronoun I as a first person. But if you rephrase or if you are retelling about what I said, you have to refer me or use me as a third person pronoun, such as she or he, according to the person who speaks or according to the gender. Next one. I just want to say a few things about we have all been doing over the last year. About ဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်ဒီမှာနှစ်ခုရှိမယ်နော်တစ်ချက်အရှိမကျတော့သူပြောချင်တဲ့အကြောင်းသူပြောချင်တဲ့အကြောင်းအရာသူပြောချင်တဲ့အကြောင်းအရာ The first one I just want to say a few things, right? And what have we all been doing? So 2 points. So we have to change the tenses. Here is a simple present tense to simple past tense. Have been doing is present perfect continuous tense to past perfect continuous tense. Yes. အဲ့တော့ဒီလိုမျိုး present နဲ့ past ကိုများအကုန်လုံးနှီးပါမှာပြောင်းပါမနော်ဒါဆို past ကပဲဆိုရင်ရောဘာပြောင်းမလဲပေါ့သူကနှစ်ခုရှိတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ဒီချက်ကတော့ဒီစာအုပ်ထဲမှာ suggest လုပ်ထားတဲ့အတိုင်းပဲပြောချင်တယ်ဘာလဲဆိုတော့နှစ်ခုရှိတယ်တကယ်တော့သူက past ကို past အတိုင်းပဲရေးလို့ရတယ်ဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့သူက past မှာဖြစ်တဲ့ဟာကို past လို့အတိုင်းပြောထားရတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်နော်ဒါမှမဟုတ် past ကိုတွေးလို့ထားကြလို့ရှိရင် past simple ကိုတွေးတဲ့အခါကျရင်ဘာနဲ့ရေးလို့ရလဲဆိုတော့ perfect နဲ့ရေးလို့ရတယ် past perfect နဲ့ဘယ်နော်အဲ့တော့ဒီနေရာမှာတော့ဒီချက် recommend ပေးတာ past ကိုတွေးတဲ့အခါ past perfect နဲ့ရေးတာ simple past ကိုတွေးတဲ့အခါမှာ past perfect tense နဲ့ရေးပေးပါနော်အဲ့တော့ဥပမာပြောရမယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဥပမာ I knew what I did yesterday. Eight down chair of your solution. She said that she news or past simple past manner. She had no what she had done yesterday ဆိုတော့ဘာပြောရမလဲဆိုတော့ तू ကဒီ reported speech မှာကြတော့ပြန်ပြောတာဆိုတော့ तू က time နေရဲ့ adverbial time ကိုပြောင်းပေးရတယ်နော် the previous day
previous day
ဟုတ်လားအဲ့တော့ chair ဒီလိုပုံစံကိုပြောင်းခိုင်းတာနော်အဲ့ဆိုဒီမှာကြတော့ तू က listen again ဆိုရတယ်အဲ့ဒါကိုမလုပ်သေးဘူးဒါက chair လုပ်လို့မရသေး It helps a listener to follow what is it? Oh,ဒါက tips တွေဒါဟိုပြီးမှလုပ်မယ်ဟာဒီမှာ speaking လို့ရနော်ဒီဟာဆက်ပြီးမှလုပ်ကဲဒါဆိုရှင် reported speech နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ exercise တွေနည်းနည်းလောက်လုပ်အောင်နော် is in unit 10ဆိုတော့ချက်ကြည့်လိုက်အောင် reported speech နဲ့ Some part of the speech given by head minister missing words is okay read the conversation and report it okay page number 61 ကိုကြည့်ပေးပါ turn on workbook page number 61 turn on workbook page number 61 workbook exercise 3 exercise 3ကိုကြည့်အောင်နော်ဒီမှာ तू ကဘာပြောထားလဲဆိုတော့ read the conversation and report it အဲ့တော့ဒီ conversation ကိုဖတ်ပြီးတော့ report လုပ်ပေးရမှာဟုတ်လားအဲ့တော့ဒီမှာ Mr. Smith ရယ် Mrs. Lewis ရယ်ပြောထားတာရှိရယ် Mr. Smith ကပြောတယ် Thank you Miss Lewis it was very informative speech အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်အဲ့ဒါကိုသူ့ကို it was လို့ပြောထားတဲ့ကြောင့်ဘာပြောမလဲ had been ပြောင်းရမယ်ဟုတ်လားMr. Smith thanked Mrs. Lewis that and said that so ပြောတယ်တဲ့ဘာပြောလဲဆိုတော့ It had been very informative speech ဟုတ်လားအဲ့တော့သူပြောထားတဲ့ဟာကို teacher က report ပြန်လုပ်ပေးတာဒီဟာလေးကိုအဲ့တော့ဒီမှာပြောတဲ့သူပါတယ်ဆိုတော့ teacher ကတခါလေကြရင် set နဲ့သူကပေးတော့ပေးထားပြီးသား graph တွေကိုဒီမှာဆို replying set
at
ဒီမှာတော့ဒီမှာလဲ set ပဲပြောထားတယ်
offer
ဒီလို offer လို့ပြောထားတာနော် edit ဟုတ်လားအဲ့တော့အဲ့ဥစ္စာလေးကိုကြည့်ပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်ဒီမှာရေးခဲ့ရမှာနော်2ကိုကြည့်ကြအောင်2လုံးကြည့်လိုက်အောင်မယ်2ကကြတော့ Mrs. Lewis replied that or Mrs. Lewis ကပြောတာ well I like to
she like to keep parents
what is going on about what is going on ဟုတ်ပြီဒါဆိုရှင် that ပြီးတော့ she liked
to keep parents
informed
and about what was going on
about what is နေရာမှာဒီလို past tense ပြောင်းရမယ် was going on ဟုတ်တယ်နော်အဲ့လိုပုံစံလေးရေးပေးမှာအဲ့တော့ဒီလိုတတိထားမှာက present tense လာတယ်တာမန်ကြိုက်တဲ့ present tense လာပြောင်းပေးမလဲဆိုတော့ past tense ကိုပြောင်းပေးမယ်နော်အဲ့မှာ simple past ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ပဲဘာကိုပြောင်းပေးရလဲ past
simple perfect but past perfect
ပြောင်းရနော်အဲ့တော့ stated present simple present tense ပဲလာ simple past simple present ပဲလာ present continuous tense ပဲလာ present future ပဲလာကြိုက်တာလားအဲ့ဒါဒီအကုန်လုံး past တွေအနေနဲ့ပြောင်းမယ် ပြီးတော့ဒီချက်တို့တကယ်လို့ past tense တည်တန့် simple past tense လာတယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ past perfect ဖြစ်တယ် have plus verb 3ပုံစံပြောင်းမယ်ဒါသူပြောင်းမှာပြီးတော့နောက်တစ်ခုပြောင်းသေးတယ်ဘာပြောင်းသေးလဲဆိုတော့ adverbial time တွေပြောင်းတယ် adverbial time တွေပြောင်းတယ်ဟုတ်လားအဲ့တော့ adverbial time တွေဘာတွေရှိလဲ
Yesterday,
yesterday
this.
ဘာပြောင်းလဲ the day before
The previous day or the day before.
the day before or the previous day
Okay. Last week. The following.
solution and the previous ပြောင်းတယ်နော်ဟုတ်လား
Oh.
last
Last
week to the previous week နော်
previous.
ပြောရတဲ့ခါကျတော့ noun ဆိုရင်ဘာပြောင်းလဲဆိုတော့ than ကိုပြောင်းတယ်ပြီးတော့ဘာရှိသေးလဲ
This or in that.
this solution that ကိုပြောင်းပေးရတယ်ပြီးတော့အဲ့ဒါတော့ဟိုပါလေဒီတာမနာနော်ဒီတာမနာပြောင်းလာဒါမဲ့ချုပ်ထည့်လိုက်ပါပြီးတော့ this solution
Those
ကိုပြောင်းတယ်
pronoun ပြောင်း
ဟုတ်ပြီဒီတာမနာပြောင်းလာဟုတ်တယ် pronoun pronoun ကိုပြောင်းလာပြီးတော့နောက်တစ်ခုဘာရှိသေးလဲ
ချက်ပြ the following တခုပြောင်းလာရှင်အဖေဥစား the
Tomorrow.
following day tomorrow ဟုတ်တယ်
tomorrow
the
solution the
following day.
following day ပြောင်းနော် the next day လို့လည်းပြောလို့ရတယ် tonight ဆိုရင်
that night
နိုင်လို့ပြောင်း ago ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကြတော့ before လို့ပြောတယ်
before
အဲ့လိုရပြီနော်အဲ့လောက်ပဲမလား
တဲ့ချက်အဲ့ဒါ
ဘာကြီးတော့အဲ့ဆိုရင်ဒီချက်အဲ့ဒါလေးပါအင်စာလေးလုပ်ခဲ့ပြီပါနော်၅ကြောင်းနဲ့ရမှာပါ
yeah
ရတယ်သိပါနော် notes ကိုဒီချက်ပို့ပေးထားတယ် Okay, so that's all about today. Thank you very much for today. See you Monday.
next week
No, next week.
Wednesday
Bye bye.
Bye, Chat. Thank you.
goodbye sir
Bye bye.
thank you sir